If you're anything like me, every year you tell yourself this year is gonna be different. This year that I wake up early, I go to the gym, I work out, and I just crush all my goals. Maybe it's finally starting that YouTube channel, or maybe it's getting those six-pack abs. Whatever it is, you're fully convinced at the beginning of the year, this year is the year gonna make things happen. No matter what the goal is, you fully convince yourself that this year is gonna be difficult. No, different. Now, if you're anything like me, you know how the cycle goes. You set these goals, you go into it full steam ahead, but then after a couple of weeks, you start to fall behind and you kind of feel like I should have never posted that I'm gonna be making this grand change, because you know that as time goes on, you become less and less motivated and less likely to achieve your goals. Not hitting your goals sucks. Being determined to be this great version of yourself and then not making it, well, that sucks too. And so this video is gonna help you to not only stay focused on your goals, but make sure that you know exactly where you're at in the progress, and ultimately help this year to be the year that you achieve those things that you really want to achieve. Let's get into it. As an expert in failing, I've failed time and time again. Whether it's me trying to do daily vlogs when those are cool, my podcast series that never made it past episode 4, or that newsletter that people sign up for on my website that doesn't actually give any updated news. When we start these goals, we don't have the intention of failing them. We have the intention of making these grand things happen. And when we don't see the progress we like, or the challenge is too much, we seem to retreat back to a version of ourselves that takes the path of least resistance. So these are my tips to help you combat those failings. Number 1 is motivation. Motivation is kind of a weird thing that can come from a lot of different sources, but for me, it's just making sure I know my why. Why is it that I want to lose weight? Why is it that I want to go to the gym? Why is it that I want to do a YouTube channel? And making sure that that why is strong enough to get me through the bad days, the days where I don't want to do it, the days where I want to sleep in, or the days where I just don't want to hit record. After you have your why figured out, the next thing is to make sure you stay motivated in that area or task that you're trying to achieve. For me, the thing that really helps me to stay motivated is listening to audiobooks. A couple of books that I really recommend, my kids are jumping around. A couple of books that I really recommend to help you to stay motivated in the process: Atomic Habits by James Clear, Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. Another book that I really love to help me to kind of set my morning routine is The 5 a.m. Club. All right, tip number 2. Schedule. You gotta figure out what time of the day works best to achieve your goals. If you have kids like I do, that's typically the morning or really late at night. If you are single, you pretty much can experiment with what time of the day works best for you, though I still recommend the habit of doing it in the morning. I heard this quote and it says, "We don't rise to the level of our goals, we fail to our systems." And that can't be more true when it comes to scheduling. A little trick that I use for making sure that I stay on schedule when I'm really trying to achieve something is after blank, I will blank. And so for me, it's very simple in the morning when I wake up. After I wake up, I will have coffee. After coffee, I will dive into the Bible. After the Bible, I'll dive into prayer. After my prayer, I'll dive into working out. And after my workout, I'll take a shower. And after my shower, I'll dive into some personal work. And this system for me has worked really well because it's kind of a trickle of events. And because I've done it so much, my body starts to know when it's time to do what. You're probably familiar with time blocking and setting different parts of your day. And if that works for you, then by all means go for it. I find that working from home and having kids can be kind of sporadic in the day-to-day. While we have a kind of baseline routine, the hour-to-hour schedule changes kind of by day. And so having that little bubble of time for me in the morning or late at night where I can really control what I'm doing helps me to stay on track of those goals. And tip number 3, and I think kind of the most important one, is track it. Now, setting goals is easy. That's the part that everybody gets really excited about. But when it comes to tracking goals, almost nobody does it and fewer people even think about it. Sometimes our goals can seem so abstract, so far to reach, and accomplishing them can feel like we're just like so far from it. And so for me, tracking my goals has been one of the things that has helped me to know exactly where I'm at, where I need to improve, or where I'm doing great at. We all know what it's like to go to the gym, work out for 10 minutes and not see instant abs or not have biceps like The Rock. It all takes time. When it comes to tracking my goals, I have a very straightforward system. It looks like this. I write down some things that I want to achieve, and sometimes those are daily goals, sometimes those are monthly goals, and sometimes they're weekly goals, like YouTube videos. And then I simply put an X on the day if I achieve that goal and a blank space if I don't. And it's cool to see when I have a good streak going and a lot of X's, and it's really revealing to me on where I need to improve when I have a lot of blank spots and things that I say that I want to do, but then I'm not actually doing them. This is kind of like an accountability for yourself to where you can see exactly where you're at and, you know, pat yourself on the back if you're doing good, but also if you're not where you want to be, you know what things need to improve. I really do think that using these 3 tips will help you to not only measure your success, but be able to achieve your goals. Somebody's going to do it for you. I know that sometimes it can be hard to get yourself motivated to get out there and do it, but the truth is you have exactly what it takes. And so this is, I know it might seem simple or it might not feel like this is like that secret sauce that you were looking for, but these are things that I've used time and time again to get out of creative slumps, to make sure I'm hitting my New Year's resolution, and to be on December 31st looking back and be able to say, wow, I've done those things that I said I was going to do at the beginning of the year, year after year. That's all I have for you guys in this one. If you have any advice for achieving your goals, I'd love to hear it down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.